else on your team besides John Wall, and John Wall ain't playing like 3 years.
Yeah, but they got Hachimura, they got like Bertans, they got some players, but like there's. I think this is good. Okay, so Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal is A.
Bradley A? I think he's B. I think
No,
he's
I
B.
think he's A because no, here's why. Bradley Beal is like one of the great, like he's one of the best shot creators in the league right now, and he's like single-handedly carrying Washington to like some type of relevance. I mean, they ain't really win shit, but I mean,
But I was gonna say, to be fair though, like it's easy to get inflated stats when I can't name anybody else on your team besides John Wall, and John Wall ain't playing like 3 years.
yeah, but they got Hachimura, they got like Bertans, they got some players, but like there's no one really like on a team.
Yeah, but like A tier for Bradley Beal, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I could put him A tier because if you
Bradley
got him
Beal,
A tier, I would put like James Harden in A tier. You got Bradley Beal and James
I
Harden up
put
there?
James Harden S.
Nah,
James Harden's
nah.
the top 10 player in the league. I think the top 10 are the S players, right?
You think so? I was gonna put the top. I was gonna put like the top 10 at A, and then put like the top 3 at S
No, I think there needs to be an S minus, man.
or S plus. Hey, we're about to make an SS. We're about to make an SS.
Yeah, make an SS and an S minus. Because yeah, an S and an SS. Because the fucking
All right,
okay.
because if
I
we
think
do that,
Bradley
then
Beal's A.
yeah, I agree. He's A then. All right, we got
Paul
playoff
George is A.
pandemic
Paul
P.
George, okay.
He is C.
No, bro. There's been some recency bias on Paul. I think you put him at A for now, but then we see where we get everybody else ranked.
If anything, I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. I'm taking Bradley Beal over Paul George.
But bro, thinking about like rewind before the playoffs.
Paul George has not. Paul George has not been the same player since Indiana though.
No, that's not. He was way better at OKC for those 2 years. I mean, except for in the playoffs. I mean, he did nothing.
Bro, I would take Bradley Beal in the playoffs. Every time playoff P right here goes to the playoffs, he vanishes. He pulls Aang.
Yeah,
He goes to Avatar.
Okay, I'll guarantee, but I don't think Paul George's that bad.
I mean, we could put him A for like now, but I guarantee he's gonna go down.
Someone in A, bro. I put like De'Aaron Fox A. I don't or B. I mean, I put like De'Aaron Fox B. I don't think that Paul George is on the same level as De'Aaron Fox. I think he's better.
I would put De'Aaron Fox at C, and I'll put D'Angelo Russell at like B.
I think De'Aaron Fox better than D'Angelo Russell. Okay, well let's get on top.
All right. Klay Thompson. I low key got him S. Klay Thompson is a monster.
Okay. Well, at Klay Thompson's highest, he's S, but Klay Thompson
on average it's A. Yeah, he's A.
Yeah.
On average he's A because he's a hell of a defender. That dude is deadly from anywhere on the court.
Shooter of all time.
Facts, better than Curry.
No, I think him and Curry are 1A and 1B.
I'm giving off pure stroke. I'm giving it to Klay.
Well,
off momentum. Momentum, I'm giving it to Steph because once Steph gets hot, it's irritating.
Yeah, but so does Klay, bro. Klay got the fucking Game 6 Klay, bro.
Man, they kind of like, yeah, I see what you mean. They were A1B, yeah.
It depends on who got it.
And I can't stand them, dude. They were in the way of LeBron out here begging for KD. I don't hate Klay. I like Klay. Klay's just, I hate Klay, but I don't hate Klay.
You can't hate Klay, bro.
Klay is low key like he's way more cocky than Steph too, which is the funny thing.
Yeah.
It's just that subtle cockiness.
It's like a nigga be like, who better than me? Yeah, no, he knows better than me. Just like that, but it's like, you know what I mean?
All right, De'Aaron Fox.
I think
he got some upside. I think he got upside, but what's this?
That's because he took way more threes this year than he did last year.
And I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. That's factual.
And Luke Walton
is a dog shit coach. He shouldn't be a coach. I could coach better than him. My only thing is like I compare him to people who were in his class. Wasn't Spider in his class?
Yeah, but so was Lonzo Ball.
You know, fair, very fair. You know what? Yeah, fair. KD
SS.
Is he though?
Because look, before we didn't get to see KD play this year, but before KD, the last we known of KD, he was the best player in the league next to LeBron.
All right. So do we agree that SS is going to be the top 3, right?
Yeah, but
are you saying he's better than Giannis or Kawhi?
Yes, I would say he's better than Giannis and Kawhi.
Huh.
KD was literally single-handedly changing the way people had to play the game because of how good he was as to score the basketball and handle. And he's an above-average.
Hey, but all I'm saying is the conversation people aren't ready for is KD is supposed to be like the best scorer of all time, right? Or like up there. How come him and LeBron always be averaging the same numbers? But people ain't ready for that conversation. We can put them at SS.
Well, the difference is the way they both score the ball. KD scores the ball effortlessly. LeBron actually has to work for his buckets. KD literally just walk up the court and niggas go, we can't do nothing about it.
That's because he like 7'2".
That's what I'm saying. Well, you can't knock him for being tall. Like
Yes, I can. Short nigga problems. Fuck him.
OP he is okay, but Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine is B. I think he's got to be B.
Yeah, Zach LaVine B. Zach LaVine is putting up like fucking inflated stats in Chicago, but he's a good player.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. This dude is not B. He's not A. He's on a dog shit team, and he's not even putting up inflated stats. I think Blake Griffin's best time was with Lob City, and he tried to start doing too much. He's not Heat. Make it Heat, because right now he's at C for me.
Okay, Blake Griffin was injured all of last year, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and the year before that,
Okay, wait, listen. Let me talk. So last year he was out of the whole year. They ain't do shit. The year before that, they go to the playoffs, and Blake Griffin was playing like at I wouldn't say an MVP, but an All NBA level. Blake Griffin was hard carrying Detroit to the playoffs. I mean, yeah, it was the East, but he did make the playoffs there, and then he got hurt, and then he got swept.
But see, the thing about that is, he was carrying them in the playoffs, yet they were losing, and then he got hurt, and they still lost.
But I mean, but the thing is though, like look at the discrepancy between the 2 years. Blake Griffin got the playoffs. They weren't shit without Blake Griffin.
They weren't shit with him. I'm saying my biggest thing is this. Out of everybody on this list so far, he would be the last person I would give the keys of a franchise to.
Well, yeah, but he's old and he's like fucking broken down now. But I don't know. I think Blake Griffin. I don't disagree with C. I think he's C right now.
Yeah, I think he's C.
I don't think it's right to disrespect Blake Griffin.
I think the disrespect is warranted right now, at least for right now.
Well, I mean, he kind of got hoed by the Clippers. But
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, okay. Okay, stop.
Bro, he's so bad. He's a taller, more athletic Rondo, dude. I'm not trying to hear it. He is.
That's fucking okay, but
you know what? No, you're right. That's wrong because Rondo can shoot the three. He can't shoot.
The thing is, he's an elite player on all levels except for when it comes to shooting the basketball.
Except offensively. Except anywhere outside of 10 feet.
No, but he is a good offensive player. He just can't shoot the ball.
Yeah, he can't score anywhere 10 feet out.
Bro, but he's like okay, if I had to give him rankings for like everything, defense 10, passing 10, ball handling 10,
defense 9, passing 8.
No, you're stop. Ben Simmons is
ball handling 7.
No, he's amazing at all of those things. You come to shooting, -5 that fucking brings down all of those grades.
All right, so say it's like 2K. So say you gave him all that, right? So say he's right now at 99 overall. Then the offensive stats bring it down because shooting matters. And this.
He's at 92 at worst.
No, he's at 87 at worst now.
He's not worse than he's not worse than George Paul. Come on, bro.
I told you George Paul is trash. I try to put him down here.
George Paul A, bro.
No, Pandemic P is no. If anything, he can sit at B. He's not. He can't help you offensively, dude. He can't help you offensively. Yeah, he could be over here. He could be in front of him, but he's on there. No. He's trash.
He helps you offensively, just not on the Sixers, bro.
Bro, he put up 1 point. He put up a point.
How was his rookie season essentially, bro?
He put up he was in the league an extra year getting trained and getting practice.
My niggas on the Sixers.
Okay, he's still on. He put up a point. I'm not trying to hear it. Bro, you telling me no. He puts up all these mixtapes, all these highlights every offseason of him pulling up for 3, and he gets in a game, and the dude acts like he has Tourette's. He's terrified to shoot. I'm not hearing it. He's going to be. He's sticking down here. He's better than De'Aaron Fox. He's better than Zach LaVine, pretty ass, but he's staying right here. He's better than Blake Griffin easily. I'm taking Clay. I'm taking Bradley Beal. I'm not taking George Paul.
George Paul is so nice.
He's so bad.
Okay, anyway, De'Aaron Fox, bro. Or not D'Angelo Russell, my bad.
I feel like
No.
I'm just hovering.
Okay.
No. I was gonna say when he was on the Brooklyn Nets, I would have him in A easily.
Yeah, but listen. No, let me put a point out here. Spencer Dinwiddie looks that good on the fucking Brooklyn Nets. I don't know what it is with their guards, but they're like fucking amazing whenever they're on the Nets. They're not on the Nets, and they're just average. I think he's on the same level with Blake Griffin.
But I wouldn't say that. If anything, he's definitely B. But I
No,
would
I would
say
say he's C. I think
to
D'Angelo
be
Russell's
to
just
be
straight up
fair to
bad.
D'Angelo Russell though, like when you go to the Timberwolves, who cares? Like Cat be putting up 40, 30 points. No one cares.
Okay, but here's like two like very like black eyes on his game. He doesn't get to the foul line, and he plays no defense.
That is true.
So how can I don't know. I think he's C. I think he still has a lot of time to grow.
All right, so right now between these two, De'Aaron Fox and D'Angelo Russell, which one has more upside?
De'Aaron Fox. I would take De'Aaron Fox 1,000%.
I think De'Aaron Fox can low key become a John Wall type of player.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I don't think he's a bad shooter. I just think the fact that he had to take so many threes this year, and he's not a great shooter, actually percentage more than most people would talk about.
All right, Cat. Where we putting Cat? I feel like Cat got to be B.
I would
I've
say
never
Cat- no, I
I've
would say
never looked
Cat
at Cat
B.
as like an elite player, dude. I've never have.
Okay.
He's so soft. That
I
meme
would
of
too,
that
right?
meme of
I was
fucking
about to say,
Boogie.
that meme has made me think about Karl Anthony Towns in a different light. But take away that picture, right? He was almost in the 50-40-90 club at a center. So
He do be
his
putting up like
offensive-
28 and
his
like 12,
His offensive game is super nice.
but he's
He
too
has-
big to
he's-
just
he's
not
a
to be
li-
trash on
liability.
defense.
He's a liability on defense straight up as it stands. I don't know if he'll always be like that, but as
So
it
you think
stands,
he should be A?
I think he should be A just because he's an elite offensive player,
I could let it slide between that. I could let it slide.
and just like in today's NBA kind of.
Now Kemba Walker on the Hornets, B maybe A. Right now, C.
Yeah, I think he's not a good fit on Celtics. I think the Celtics just wanted to like.
Now I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's well deserved. That's well deserved.
Okay.
His IQ is ridiculous. For pure point guards, he is the best point guard in the league. He is literally the definition of point guard, or point god, as he likes to say.
Well, I would agree. I'm agreeing with everything you say, right?
That's CP3.
But
CP0 because he ain't got a ring, but that's CP3.
I don't know, right? I don't know, right? If I would want him over Klay Thompson on my team.
I would.
Depending on what I need,
I
depending
would
on
because
what
I
need.
feel like I'm gonna keep it a buck. I feel like if I had CP3, like if I had to choose between CP3 and Clay, I feel like if I got CP3, I could easily go get Zach LaVine and be fine at my shooting guard spot.
Well, I agree, but I don't know, man. I think Chris Paul. Okay, 2016, you're having no debate with me right now. But I don't know. I think his skills are a little bit diminished. I think he's still a great player.
I think they're a little bit diminished, but the fact that he could still do everything he can, I think he deserves to be up there because of his presence, team leader, and the veteran. You saw what he did to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whatever his name is.
Yeah, he did make him a lot better. Okay, I'll leave him there for now.
I say we leave him for now. We could come back to it, but yeah.
We can come back to it.
All right, the Frozen, the choke artist.
The Frozen C.
Yeah.
The Frozen C. He's on a level with all those.
Yeah.
Guys. I don't think DeRozan when he's good is like a B player. But
DeRozan when he's good is
DeRozan
Jimmy Butler average.
Well, no, he's okay. Jimmy Butler for another conversation, but DeRozan is a good player. I just don't think that like.
I'm gonna keep. I
maybe
think skill wise.
In 2006, DeRozan would have been like a top 10 player in the league, right?
I think skill wise, I think DeRozan is better than Zach LaVine, but it's just.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think the Spurs are a weird team. He doesn't really do a lot. I mean, on the Raptors, I think he was a B. Right now, at the point of his career, he's like not as explosive as he was. I think C's fair.
I just really think he. Wasn't he talking about depression before and everything? I just really don't.
Yeah,
I think him seeing the Raptors win and everything, I think that just affected him. He just doesn't look interested being on the Spurs. Yeah, I think him being traded off the Raptors, being separated from Thick Butt right here, like really affected him.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I think C's fine for him. Donovan Mitchell, though, I think Donovan
Mitchell's A. Yeah, he's A.
Yeah,
Spider's A.
Not much to talk about with
Not
Donovan.
yeah.
Really good.
James Harden.
James Harden's S.
S or I feel like
Okay, look,
I could slide him at A, but he'll be the best A.
James Harden should be a two-time MVP at work.
Yeah.
James Harden's finished second in MVP like in the past like 5 years.
But everything about James Harden game just relies on fouls, dude.
James Harden is the greatest like
ISO player.
scorer of the basketball.
I have him as the greatest ISO player.
From the guard, yeah, like he's like kind of reminiscent of Kobe in the fact that it's like no, okay. Let me before anyone kills.
No, not Kobe, not Kobe. Prime T-Mac. Prime T-Mac was doing what he wanted no matter what.
But I would say T-Mac's more of a comparison to KD though.
I would say T-Mac to KD? I don't know about that one.
The reason I say James Harden's reminiscent of Kobe is because of the way he can take over the game, scoring the basketball in the regular season. In the regular season.
Oh yeah, in regular season, sure. Playoffs,
Playoffs,
nah, I'll put him
I
B.
think
Playoffs for
no.
B.
Okay, yeah, in the playoffs, I don't know. He has good numbers in the playoffs. I think
He has good numbers, but they're always
the advanced
nah like.
metrics in the playoffs actually like James Harden a lot. I think it's
But
just the fact that
his whole thing is you can't go from putting up like 40 points a game in the
exactly,
regular season then going up to like
exactly. I don't
26.
disagree, but James Harden was playing really well against the Warriors that one series that everyone will talk about in 2016 or 2017. I forget the year.
Where they kept saying
They
they
could have
should have won.
they should have won. Yeah,
My only issue with
James
that
Harden.
is like, all right, so y'all should have won. Next year, y'all playing the Warriors and their team is injured. KD's not there.
Yeah,
Why
and
did y'all
they
get
were
stomped
up.
out?
They were up until Game 6 Clay and Curry came the fuck on.
And it's
So
just like, yeah,
you can't really get like okay without the Warriors that's a championship team.
I don't know. I don't think that team is beating LeBron.
Well, I'm saying in the terms of going to the finals, they're like
Oh
they're
yeah,
like a
that's a
championship
finals
team.
team. Yeah, that's making it.
Exactly. So
All right, I
I
feel like we could leave him at S for now. I feel like we could leave
yeah,
him right there.
Harden's pretty transcendent. Trey Young, I
Trey
think
Young,
Trey
Trey
Young's
is
A.
A. Yeah, he's A.
But okay, after this year, Trey Young will be S.
Fair. If he pops off this, if Atlanta could get a decent piece,
If
anything,
they could get through Rosen, just someone anybody
get them a decent big man, get Drummond or
well,
get K Love or something. If
the
they
thing
could
is,
get
John
anything,
Collins is a power forward. That's a small forward. It's
yes,
not like
he's like
they don't have
Jabari Parker,
exactly,
but
John
Jabari Parker
Collins
tore
is
his ACL.
Yeah, he's what Jabari Parker wants to be. Fucking
Factual.
John Collins is a beast, and Trey Young is a fucking monster too. Offensively, like he puts up some ridiculous numbers.
You want to know the funny thing is?
Trey Young you could argue Trey Young's S right now. The only issue is Atlanta's such a bad team that you really can't like say, well, yeah, Trey Young's affected this game, or Trey Young's not.
And he's not a good defender though, to be fair.
Well, okay, I think he'd be a better defender, at least like average.
I think he could be like a
He had
Curry
something
type
to play
defender.
for.
Like
He had nothing to play for
Curry's not a good on-ball defender. He's a good lane defender. He would watch to see what's going on and he could pick it. I feel like Trey could do that with his speed, but he doesn't have a guard next to him to lock somebody down like K has Clay, like Curry has Clay. I mean,
The thing with Trey Young to me though is the fact like there's no reason for him to be engaged on defense. The fuck is he out there trying hard as fuck to defend Steph Curry or whatever elite guard that he's playing every other night? So whenever he could just like go out there and fill up the stats and get paid, you know what I mean? There's like no point for him to do that. I think there's an argument for him to be S, but I'm comfortable putting him A right now.
I think, I'm trying to see. I can say this though. The thing I like about Trey Young, he came in with not as much hype as Lonzo, and he lived up to everything people said Lonzo was gonna do.
They were like, oh yeah, he's never gonna work in the NBA.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like everything that he does, everybody was saying that's what Lonzo can and will do, and Lonzo has done none of that.
Well, Lonzo is still a very good player.
I wouldn't say very good. He's a decent player. Yeah.
But
yeah, he's a good defender.
Giannis is obviously S. There's not much to talk about with Giannis.
Yeah. Embiid.
Embiid's S.
You got him S?
I got Embiid S.
Who you trading off that team? Between 76ers, between Embiid and Simmons. Which one you getting rid of first? Because I'm getting rid of Simmons.
Okay, well, I'll give you two two things I would say about this. If I think that I can get a good player like a guard easier than getting another big man, I would trade Joel Embiid. Like Joel Embiid for whatever player I can get that's like off the ball that I can get shooters for Ben Simmons. I'd rather have that. But if I could trade Ben Simmons for like
Trey Young, basically, like
Trey Young,
that'd be OP.
Trey Young, I don't think the Atlanta Hawks would do that, but just in theory, if I could get Trey Young, like I'd do that 1,000 times over before trading him.
Because I would 1,000% pair these two up before I pair like him and anyone else on this list, really.
Exactly. I think Ben Simmons and KD would be like a good combo, but I don't
really know though, because I just feel like Ben Simmons is just such a liability on offense. So like, say they double team KD, say they put Giannis on him or something, like somebody big who can like at least kind of match his wingspan. Is he dishing it to Ben Simmons? Then what Ben Simmons gonna do? They gonna clog the paint.
But the thing with that's what I'm saying. Ben Simmons needs shooters around him. He needs another star, but if he can get like Redick around him, like what you already hit it, and you've seen he was very good at that point. They get like Redick around him, they get other shooters around him. I don't know. I think that he's just a lot better than like the media wants to say he is, and even you.
Like, don't get me wrong, Ben Simmons is good. I'm just not buying into the hype.
I think you're just disrespecting him hardcore at B. To be honest,
I think he deserves to be at B. We could put him to A because like I'm looking at him and Trey Young, and it's kind of blasphemous to put Trey Young up there and not him.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, don't get me wrong, Ben Simmons is a good player. I actually like Ben Simmons. It may not ever seem like it. I'm not buying into the hype. They came in saying he was.
I think you're overselling the fact that he's bad on offense, though. I just think the 76ers
He's just 10 feet out. He's not doing anything. I've seen it multiple times.
Well, yeah, well that's no secret. But the fact is, like, even 10 feet out, not being effective, he still has such a great impact on the game. That, like,
Not in the playoffs. They sagging off. I would rather guard everybody else and leave him.
Okay, he was good in the playoffs. The year that the shot happened for Kawhi, right? He was good in the playoffs then because Embiid missed like 60% of the games they played. So when they're not on the floor together, you can argue that they're better players than what we have. Maybe not Embiid, but
I don't know. Maybe it's because the Celtics are just his kryptonite. The Celtics harass and bully this man. I personally think. What was I going to say? No. Oh, I was saying I don't buy into the hype around him because when he came in, they were calling him Baby LeBron, Prince LeBron. That's when I'm. No. You can't fault him for that. But he started embracing it low key, talking about Fresh Prince, this, that. LeBron was also endorsing it too. But it was like, if you're comparing yourself to that and you can't shoot on your his third year for to be his fourth. If you still can't shoot, I'm tired of seeing you in the offseason putting up videos of you going 20 for 20 from 3 just to be in a game and terrified to shoot. Like, nah, bro, I'm not here. All right, Drummond.
I think
D tier. I got him.
D or C.
And this league does not fit him anymore.
He still like is very impactful in the game. But
this is not his type of league anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of over for Drummond's window. Maybe 10 years ago, Drummond would have been insane.
Oh yeah, Drummond would have been ridiculous 10 years ago because he gets boards. He can bully in the paint, except unless he's going against Embiid.
It kind of reminds me of like I don't know if this is disrespectful to him, but Andrew Bynum was like a very good player.
That's not disrespectful. Andrew Bynum was really good.
He reminds me of Andrew Bynum, kind of, but like if Andrew Bynum wasn't on coke.
Yeah. So. Andrew Bynum was also one of the first dudes I've seen get dunked on by Shaq and went right back to him. Like, what's up?
Exactly.
So
I don't know. Drummond's good, but just not for NBA today.
All right, now Vic. I want to say before his injury, he was A, pushing S. After his injury, I don't know.
I'd say he was B, pushing A before his injury. I don't want to go too far on Oladipo because here's why. Oladipo was kind of like the same thing you see with Zach in Chicago with a better team. They didn't really have any offensive player, and he was the guy that could create his own shot and go.
But no. Remember when he went to Indiana, he was still cooking before his injury. That's why I say he was A pushing S.
I'm just saying though, who on Indiana with the ball outside of him? That was their issue in the playoffs this year. Like they didn't have anybody to score the ball except for when T.J. Warren turned into Kevin Durant for like 10 games.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But people started actually talking about T.J. Warren like he was good.
Right now, Oladipo is so banged up that you really don't know. I'd say C, but he could be B or A.
I'm gonna put him at B. I'm gonna put him at B out of respect because he is banged up and you just really don't know. All right, Luka. I got Luka S.
I got Luka SS.
You got him SS? Oh, you got him up there, huh?
I would say Luka's the greatest. He's the best offensive player in the league right now. Just because.
Over James Harden?
He's I didn't say scorer. I'm just saying offensive player because he can get his own shot. He gets people involved. He can score from anywhere. He's not the greatest 3-point shooter, but he hits threes. He's clutch.
He is clutch. Like he's not a great 3-point shooter, but when it's clutch time, he is draining.
Hit something exactly. He's tough too. Like
he is a tough kid. He may not look like it, but he is.
Exactly.
I don't know if I got him at SS though.
It's not like he plays amazing defense or anything, but he plays serviceable defense. Luka's good at everything. I don't think he reminds me of like he's unique. I don't really
I was gonna say I can't really think of like a comparison for him.
I don't know. I think after this year, Luka will be SS for sure, but I think he's SS.
I think it's safe to put him at S over SS.
But I think he's better than Harden. I think he's better than Embiid. I think he's
better than Chris Paul. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, all right, we can put him up there. We'll see afterwards.
And dude, Giannis has been to the playoffs 3 times now, and
never made it past what? Has Giannis even made it to the conference finals?
Yeah, he did, and they choked the lead to the Raptors. And They
Oh
beat
yeah,
the
okay,
Celtics on
yeah. I
DraftKings, and
keep
they were
thinking
up
when
like
LeBron was over there.
they were up like 2-1, and then just lost like 3 straight games.
All right, now where you got my boy Jokic?
Jokic is ass.
Jokic is a monster. Hold up, he's better than me. He's better than
He's
me.
better than he's better than James Harden too.
Low key, yeah, actually. Low key, yeah. James Harden is just an offensive monster scoring.
Jokic is like
Jokic is insane.
the center version of Doncic.
Bro. Bro, picture if you had Jokic and Luka on the same team. That'd
I'm
just
not
be
gonna.
that'd
I'm
be
not
kind
gonna.
of wild
I'm not
though.
gonna say he single-handedly beat the Clippers with Jamal Murray whenever he played good.
Hey,
Stuff.
Cox out for Murray. My boy.
but Jokic like 90% beat them on his own. The fucking way he passed the ball and played defense was just absolutely nuts. And he was playing like what 90% of all those games. They took him out for maybe 2 possessions, and he was back in there.
And the one thing I could say I do like about Jokic compared to almost everybody else on this list besides maybe Luka is if he's having an off night scoring, he's still impacting offensively with passing,
Exactly.
getting to the line, defense.
Same.
He's still doing everything. He does everything you need. Yeah, he's up there. He's up there.
I think Jokic is the best player that you have in S tier.
Factual. I agree with you. I agree with you on
Why
that.
is SS? You already know.
Yeah,
Probably the
yeah.
best playoff player we have right now. And
On this list so far, yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Cause I was, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, LeBron is LeBron.
yeah, that's fair. I feel like hold up. To be completely fair,
I think LeBron deserves his own tier.
yeah, I was gonna say LeBron. Like,
You can put him there now. There's nothing to even discuss about him.
yeah, there's absolutely no, it's LeBron. Like,
LeBron.
he's just no matter how close they always make the gap, or they always say, or "Look, I think he's the best player. LeBron has always proven year after year he's still that nigga. Like,
Exactly. LeBron, I mean,
I'm not gonna say the gap is as big as it used to be, but there's still a gap. There's still a sizable gap.
LeBron might not be as good as he was, say, 2016 or 2017.
But the thing about 2016, 17, and all that, he was so otherworldly that it wasn't fair.
Exactly.
He's still beyond amazing right now, and everybody's saying,
the
"Oh, he's
gap-
having a down
I think
year."
the gap is close, like you said. There's arguments to be made for Giannis or KD. Eventually Luka. There's gonna be arguments, but I mean, you can't argue with results though.
Exactly.
LeBron, when it's all said and done, is always the last guy there. I mean, he would have beaten whatever team was put in front of him except for the fucking super team that was the Warriors. I mean,
But you know, everybody counts that against him. Dude literally has to go against three of the greatest scorers in NBA history
exactly. I mean,
with K Love as backup.
I think it's fine to count it against him, but not to the degree that.
I don't think it should be like. I feel like when you look at it, it should be like, oh well, his legacy is tarnished because he couldn't beat this monster of a team. No, it's not.
He did once.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Enough.
exactly. He showed that it could be done, and then they went out and added KD, and then he was just like, well, shit.
The getting swept thing was kind of he got swept, but I mean the game 1 performance that he put on.
That man put up what he put up like 55, and then Jr. like man.
And George Hill and look.
I don't know. George Hill doesn't get a pass.
Yeah, I was about to say, JR might get killed because it was the fucking literal bonehead play. But George Hill, all he had to do was hit those free throws for a player who hits free throws.
I can see what happened with JR. When you're in the heat of that moment, there was so much pressure. He was focused on the game. He wasn't focused on the situation. He probably thought, all right, George Hill made that free throw. That's all we needed. We're up. So he got the ball and started running. George Hill knows that he needs to make both, and he breaks it and then starts wiping his forehead like, yeah, JR, how could you? Like, nah, bro, you're not sliding.
Exactly. George Hill was the catalyst of what happened that night.
Factual.
Jimmy Butler.
All right, we're not doing recency bias. I'm not hearing it. He's not up here with them. He's A tier. And he's the bottom of A tier. I'm taking Embiid over him.
No, that's S. I think he's down there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hold on, my bad. I forgot we just added LeBron list.
And this is why. Jimmy Butler is not a good offensive player.
He's not. Jimmy Butler is pure heart.
Get hot and hit some shots and will his way to some shots, you know? But
And that's no disrespect to Jimmy Butler. He's pure hustle and heart. He's gonna give it his all. He said it himself before. He's not as talented as all these other players. He have to work for it. And there's nothing. Hold up, you're better than like. There you go.
Okay, yeah, he stops at Clay.
Yeah, yeah. It's just he's not on their level up here at all.
Exactly. And the thing is, to me, right, is Jimmy Butler. he's one of the greatest defenders we've seen in the past like 20 years. But
Right.
the issue, Jimmy Butler, he just look, man. I don't know what Jimmy Butler does offensively that you're like, yeah, we got a game planned around Jimmy Butler. He can't get hot. There's some gutty performances out of Jimmy Butler. Like we all seen it in the finals. The game, the picture after the game where he's literally worn out because he put the team on his back.
And then the very next game, he couldn't do nothing. He was tired.
I mean, well, he was so gassed. He really
And then,
couldn't even
bro,
move.
I saw somebody say something, and it was funny because they was like, "So y'all see how exhausted Jimmy Butler is right now, and what y'all take for granted is LeBron does that nightly in the finals when he was with the Cavs." And it was like, yeah, that's actually kind of insane. He does that consistently.
I think you gotta give Jimmy Butler some props. Like, yeah,
I give him full props. He's a hard worker. He will go out and bust his ass. He's just not better than them.
I just don't. I don't know unless you're the Heat or one of those teams.
The Heat is a perfect team for him. Yeah,
Exactly.
the Heat, low key.
The Pat Riley, I can just smell the alpha on.
Pat Riley is, I want nothing but alpha players, but I'm an omega. Y'all still listen to me. It's just like Jimmy Butler's whole thing is with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have never been a super we're finna destroy you type team unless you're counting D Wade with LeBron. They've always been a grinded out. We're way more physical. We're all about team. We're about culture. This is us, and we're gonna beat you at it. And that's a perfect team for Jimmy Butler. That is literally a flawless team for him. But he's not better than them. Like he's not even on their level.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's no shade to him.
Exactly.
Now Boogie, he's fell off. I don't want to blame him because injury after injury after injury.
He's trash.
I feel like
because the last time we've seen Boogie Cousins,
I feel like we gotta change. I gotta change that. I can't. It can't be trash. It has to be like irrelevant or something because like, oh shit.
No,
it's not fair to him.
Trash. He's just straight up trash. Because look, the last time we see Jimmy or not Jimmy Butler, my bad. Marcus Cousins was against the Raptors in the finals, and he was absolutely selling the Warriors. In the moment that they needed him to step up, like, dude, you're the fifth guy. We even have Draymond ahead of you. You just need to hit some shots. He's like, nope.
To be fair though, like I don't know, dude.
He was coming off of multiple injuries. When we seen him before the injuries, he was on the level of F.
Yeah, he was.
But with the injuries and the fucking, I don't know, man. He is not good no more. He's down there. I don't.
I'ma just say right now, I say trash for him is a blank slate. You're not up here anymore. But if you can come back and kind of show something, maybe you could get up there. But honestly, I think the league is moving past him.
I don't even think he has a ceiling of getting back to where he was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I honestly think right now,
I think he's done.
Right now, the league really doesn't need him anymore. That's sad. Like,
I mean, he was showing that he could hit some jump shots and have an outside type game, but his body's failed him. He's just bad. It's like with Derrick Rose. I mean, if we had him on this list, he'd be trash. I mean, it's not because Derrick Rose is a bad player. It's just
Derrick Rose would not be on this list of trash. He would definitely be as B or C. Derrick Rose, unlike Boogie, has slowly started developing a career again. He's not where he used to be, but he's up here now. He's on the same tier list as Diesel's right here.
I disagree.
You would put him with Drummond?
Yeah, he'd be on Drummond. If anything, but anyway.
Bro, then Blake wouldn't be up here. No, I can't stand Blake.
But the thing was that you just don't like Blake. The fucking numbers.
He's not good, dude. I'm not here. No.
The numbers speak for Blake.
The numbers lying right now. They're inflated.
Cousins, yeah, I think DeMarcus Cousins is done. And it's like even when DeMarcus Cousins was good, what was holding him back from being a top player is a fucking dickhead. Like,
that's true. Like that's very true. Like you couldn't get people who wanted to come play with you because you're a dick. Like Anthony Davis was your boy, but it's like
Anthony Davis.
He snaked AD.
Anthony Davis,
We're not forgetting that DeMarcus, you snaked AD. He wore your jersey in an All-Star game and you snaked him. You're dog shit. You don't even get to be on a tier list. No, yeah, you're gone. Now Curry. SS. He's S. Yeah. I'm putting him up. I'm putting him up here.
We know about Steph, man.
I'm putting him up there, bro, because like he literally changed the dynamic of the NBA. Like he's up there.
I don't know if he single-handedly changed the third one.
I'm not saying he single-handedly. His team. Yeah, he was the catalyst for it. Him, Clay, Draymond, and all of them. Them three changed it.
Well,
it's not just him.
I don't think Damian Lillard gets enough credit for the fact that he also was helping change the way they go. I don't know if it was like helping type thing, but it was also like the fact
He
that
contributed.
you
It's just the reason they get the credit is because they won doing it.
when
People
they
had a
were
game
yeah
plan around it.
exactly.
Damian
I
Lillard
think
was like taking the steps to do it.
Steph Curry paved the way though. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
For that to be acceptable, the way to play like that.
Or you could look at it like this. So say they're both side by side, Steph and Dame. Steph's pass led to gold. His led to greatness. Dame is slowly leading there too. It's just slower. So Steph got the credit for it because like
Exactly.
yeah, so Steph like literally Steph, Clay, Draymond, who's not on this list, good, and KD when KD dick rided to join them because he couldn't beat him, pussy ass nigga.
I'm gonna have to give real disrespect for all the fucking next few players. Not,
Kyle Lowry is D.
Kyle Lowry, no.
No,
Okay.
he's a bulldog. I'll put him at C. I'll put him
Kyle
ahead of
Lowry,
C.
I would say Kyle Lowry is the best player in C, and this is like Kyle Lowry is similar to Jimmy Butler, is not a bad player.
He's not
He, Kyle Lowry plays off of fucking just being
thick
like
and hustle and grinding
it's
and
hustle, it's
yeah.
grind, yeah. It's like I'm fucking gonna show up. I'm gonna do all.
I'm gonna
this
keep it a
work.
buck. If Marc Gasol, Zebo, Tony Allen had Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry when they were
team would
that
have
team,
been fucking
man.
play, and they
Oh
already
my
were.
god,
They
dude.
already were. No, that's not to say Mike Conley wasn't like contributing on it, but like
Mike,
had-
there's different levels of toughness and grit between Kyle Lowry
Kyle
and
Lowry
Mike
was on
Conley.
the Grizzlies. They traded him though to Houston, right?
Yeah, they traded him. It's just if they would have kept him and just like I don't know if he would have been the same player as he is now, but if they could have had Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler, everybody would have hated playing against them.
Yeah, you would have gotten a fucking ACL torn playing against.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to call them dirty players. They didn't play dirty. They just played
play
hard.
They're on every loose ball. They're on every rotation. They're just there. You know?
They're not
Kyle
bad
Lowry-
players. They're
Kyle
not mean
Lowry-
players. They're competitive and they're all nice as hell too.
The thing about Kyle Lowry, right, is Kyle Lowry is an average player when the game is at like its like lowest point. But when you need shit to happen, Kyle Lowry makes shit happen.
Like Kyle Lowry may not hit the game-winning three. He may not bring you back down from 20. But if it's a close game and you need your team to go at it, Kyle Lowry is leading the charge.
Exactly.
And then if he had Jimmy Butler, him and Jimmy Butler are side by side leading that charge. And I think that's why DeRozan, I think that's why they kind of moved on from DeRozan. If DeRozan was more like Jimmy Butler, they're not moving him on. They're keeping him. They had to.
I disagree. I think DeRozan, with the mentality of Jimmy Butler or Lowry or Marcus Smart, whoever you want to say, he still was not the player for that team as sad as it was.
I think mentally, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think mentally, and this isn't me trolling you since you're a Raptors fan. I think LeBron was just in their head so much that if y'all went down a game, DeRozan was defeated. Like you could always see it.
It wasn't even a game. They were losing the first quarter. DeRozan has 8 points for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's just like he always looked over there at the Cavs, just like, what do? We can't beat them. And Kyle Lowry's like, come on, we have to step it up. And DeRozan's just he's gone.
Kawhi was just such a beast for them that DeRozan gets so overlooked, which is sad to say, but it's just a fact.
Cause DeRozan is like y'all leader and so much shit for y'all stats. Like he's like he leads so much shit for y'all.
Exactly, and then he just didn't show up. But I don't know. It's enough on Kyle Lowry. Anthony Davis.
You got him S. I was actually thinking S, dude.
No,
I don't know if I want to put him.
Anthony Davis single-handedly. Okay, Bam Adebayo was very good against Giannis the whole year. Every time Miami played,
That's
Bam
factual.
Bam was locking Giannis up. He played against Anthony Davis and looked completely fucking lost. Anthony Davis dominated the whole series. They couldn't do nothing with him. Sure, Bam got hurt, but even when Bam was playing, Anthony Davis did whatever the fuck he wanted. The series before that, Jokic was like making other big men rendered useless. Anthony Davis shows up, he can't do fuck all with him.
But my only issue with that is, so look, compare all these other big men to Anthony Davis. Out of everybody on this list, it's not even really that many big men over here. Wow. So what is it? 3, 4, 5, okay, 6. All right. With everybody else up here, nobody on this list outside of Cat has a clean jumper. It's Anthony Davis and like Cat. So when Bam was guarding Giannis, because you can count him as a big man too, nigga's huge. When Bam was guarding Giannis, if Giannis is mid-range or anywhere outside of the paint, I'm not stressed. Fade, shoot, oh well. I'm literally gonna guard you as hard as I can to keep you out the paint. They tried that. Bam was bodying like AD and keeping him out the paint, and AD just faded away. AD would pump
But
fake, faded away like he's Kobe. Like, and it just
80, but
drains.
80, 80 was just getting boards over. He just outworked. I don't know. I think Anthony Davis is just a game changer completely. And I think when you, if you want to put Jokic up there because you have
Yeah, like
AD
that's my
there,
issue. It's like I feel like
I
Jokic.
think that's completely fair. I
I
think that's
feel like
completely fair
AD's
to say.
above Jokic, but I feel like they're like close on level.
Yeah, I agree. Jokic got MVP votes, man. He's not a joke. Jokic is a fucking beast. But the thing is, he's not Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is just something different. I think Anthony Davis, if you want to rank the guys in SS, he's literally number 2 or 3.
All right, so let's rank them in SS real quick. So you
Okay.
say number 2 or 3. So who you got number? I think it's safe to put this ugly nigga number 1.
KD, I think KD, Steph, Kawhi actually, and then I think
Kawhi.
you put. I think after that, I think you put Giannis, AD. Okay, yeah, like just that's fine right there. Like, that's how you have it. I think.
Oh, okay, because like I think I might put.
I think you could put 80 over Giannis. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I like
Giannis
Giannis.
has
I like
more
Giannis so
singular
much.
achievements, right? But Giannis, the Pelicans did not do what the Bucks did for Giannis
The
for
Bucks have
Giannis.
made a team around Giannis,
Exactly.
but for some reason in the playoffs they just forget that, and
Well,
like that's the crazy
dude,
part.
Eric Bledsoe's a fucking horrible player.
He's not. I wouldn't say he's a horrible player. I just don't think he knows what type of player he is. He was grit and grindy and attacking the paint before. Now he's trying to pull up from three and mid range, and
Yeah,
it's like, what are you doing?
he is bad, man. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's bad on skills. Like mostly any player that's bad is not bad on skills, but they don't know how the fuck to play the game. Like
Right. All right, now Vucevic. Vucevic, you're. I could
I
put him
think
at
Vooch is
B.
C.
I could
I
put him
prefer
at
Vooch
B.
is okay. I think Vooch is B, and here's why. The Magic
You
are
said B or
amazing
C? B
by
or
any
C? B or
metric,
C?
right? C. I'd say B. At B. I put him
Okay.
B.
Yeah, I
He's
got him at
somewhere
B too.
between C and B. And he's led his team to the playoffs, and he's played well in the playoffs. Unfortunately, they just played two like the past like best teams. Like I mean, the Bucks aren't really a best team, but they don't have the talent to match up with a team like that. They don't have the talent to match up with the Raptors, and they took games off of both of those teams. Vucevic played well in both the series. I don't know. Vucevic is just a good player. I wouldn't mind Vucevic with my team at all. I mean, he's good.
My only issue with Vucevic is, yeah, like how you said, Vucevic's a good player. He's not outstanding at one thing. There's not one thing that he's better than AD at or
Well,
better than
he's
Giannis
a.
at.
I think
He's
what he's
just
really good at is just the post game, and the post game's kind of gone away.
yeah, he's a
But he still
good
makes up
all
for it.
around player. But look at all the talent above him. You're
Exactly.
not gonna look down at Vucevic when you have all of them.
Vucevic is a good like part to complete your team.
If he was on
To
the
have him,
Lakers, it'd be disgusting. If he was on the Clippers, it'd be disgusting. If the Rockets would actually realize centers are important, it would be disgusting. Shit, honestly, hold on. If he was on the Pacers with Oladipo in that team, that'd be gross.
yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know. He's like a if you're a piece away and you think that a center is what you need, Vucevic
He's
is
he's a
not
good
that
cheap
option.
piece to go grab. You're not gonna have to give up a lot to get him, and he's gonna give you a lot. Like, yeah. All right, now Dame. I got Dame in S. I don't have him in SS. I got him in S.
Okay. Dame in the bubble was SS.
Fair.
Dame outside of the bubble was not SS. Dame is very good, but Dame has nights like where he'll get 14 points. It's like similar to the Paul George thing, except for when you need him to show up, he will show up.
Yeah. See, with Paul George is people will let bad games slide if you showed up. Paul George will have bad games in the regular season, and everybody's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. He's a good defender." And then he will have consistent bad games in the playoffs, and you're just like, "Well, then what are you?" Damian Lillard, if he has a stretch of bad games, you best believe he's bouncing back strong. And he could be struggling that game, but if the game is close and you need him, it's Dame time. He will take that ball and pull up. Whether he makes it or not doesn't matter. He's doing it every time.
Dame is very good. I don't think there's much to talk about when it comes to Dame. He's just
All right, now my boy Westbrook.
Russ is A. I don't
I
think he's
got him.
S.
You don't think he's S? I don't know, dude.
Look, man. Okay. Everyone wants to root for Russ unless you're racist.
No,
Everyone wants to
everybody
root for
roots against Russ.
No, it's like the thing. It's like I think his direct polar, like it's like his I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like his complete carbon copy in the NFL would be Cam Newton. Everybody wants to hate on him because of the way he acts. but you can't argue that he put some numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like they might not be as efficient as somebody like Curry. They might not be as like fucking I don't know. He might not be as good a shooter as Dame. But everything he's good at, you can't really deny. Like he's a great defender. He's hustle. He does everything well. Like he rebounds the ball.
He's
He
not gonna
keeps
take
them
your
alive.
shit. He will definitely be the first one in the fight.
Exactly. It's like people will sit here and lie, be like, "Oh, he stat padded." Oh, it's like no, he didn't. It's just the stat. It's just he's a hustle player, you know. So
Like his whole thing is, which is why like I don't think it worked out in Houston. And if he gets traded to the Lakers, I don't think it'll work out with the Lakers. Hopefully he goes to the Knicks. His whole thing is he wants to run the team, and there's nothing wrong with that. He wants to be the floor general. He wants to dish. He wants to set everything up, and that's perfectly fine. He does it efficiently. He does it greatly. He sets his team up for success. But people are so spoiled and selfish, and they think he's stat padding because he's getting a triple double every game. Just because his team may not always be good enough or better than the team he's going against to win doesn't mean he's stat padding. He's going out there giving it 150% every game on every possession. And if they lose, they lose. He's going against a better team. But he's always out there trying. He's not a good shooter, but he can get better. His shooting has been like dropping and dropping and dropping. But I think that's more because he's been trying to take a backseat to everybody he's been playing with, and he's been turning himself into a shooter.
it's like he's hitting shots sometimes when he's like Russ when he's playing bad is just a fucking it's horrible to
It's
watch.
like a train
Why,
wreck
man? Yeah.
because he only has one gear, and that's just to
Well, it's like,
go.
what do you do with this guy, man? Like,
Because
if
like
he
if
can
he's
find
on
something,
and
if
he's
he can find
going,
some
you're not stopping
consistency,
it.
which he's pretty old to like say like, yeah, if he can do this, if he can get better at this. But I mean, it's not totally out of the question to say like Russell Westbrook can become a better shooter. Shooters, you can become a better shooter when you become older. That's like not a thing that's like out of fucking like question, you know?
I think when
So
he was running his own team, he was able to adjust when he was having a bad shooting night, and that's when he'd get like 16, 17 assists
exactly.
because he's just dishing it out now. He could fake drive it in, dish it out. But when he was with the Rockets, he either has the ball or James Harden has the ball.
I didn't understand the whole thing. They tried it twice. It didn't fucking work the first
That
time.
dynamic was not good. I did not like
Yeah.
that trade at all. Like it was not a good
They were
trade.
look. People forget the Hawks have a good fucking big man now. Clint Capella is not a bad player by any
Yeah, no,
stretch.
that was such
They
a
gave a,
stupid
they gave
trade.
away Clint Capella for free to the fucking Hawks for free.
That
They
was
like
such a dumb trade. And then
I
you
don't
put
know, man.
PJ Tucker at center.
The Rockets made Chris Paul look bad.
Right.
People actually thought Chris Paul wasn't a good player anymore. So
Man.
I think once Russell Westbrook, I think it's inevitable that he gets traded.
I see
Um,
Michael Jordan wants him on the Hornets, but I don't want him on another bad team.
I don't want him. Okay, I don't mind him on a bad team. I just don't mind. I mind him on a team. Like the Hornets have nothing. If you put him on a team like with someone who's just like I don't know, R.J. Barrett, with the Knicks, obviously.
I don't even
You
think
have
RJ
young
Barrett's that
players.
good. I feel like he could develop
I don't
into
think he's
something,
that good or anything, but I'm
but
just saying like players. Who the fuck do the Hornets have, man?
low
Where do
key,
they trade
like
him?
it sounds weird because he's not with them anymore. But the Thunder is still such a good team for him.
I don't think anymore. And this is why I think that he's gonna. Um, I think that what you call it. I lost my train of thought. Whatever it is.
He's gonna say shy or he's gonna take over. What?
Yeah, he's gonna take time away from the younger players. I think he just needs to be somewhere where they're like, yeah, like the Magic, somewhere where they're just gonna be like, yeah, you can sit here and you do all your shit, and we're just gonna like have good players or like decent enough players around you that you can do stuff.
Or maybe someone like the Celtics. Like if I don't know, a weird trade of like Kimba and a bunch of picks for Westbrook. With that Celtics team, I feel like that could work because Jason Tatum is a dog, Jalen Brown is a dog, and you got Westbrook running the floor with
He's
that.
only 19.
Jason Tatum will forever be 19, dude. I actually feel like that could work with the Celtics, though.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Anywhere really. Why? Okay. Why is Jason Tatum not on this list? I would say he's A.
That's a good point.
But
Yeah, he's
anyway,
not on this list.
Marcus Aldridge is C. I'm
LaMarcus, he's D, dude. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, okay. Dude,
I'll
I'll
never get
never
over the fact
get
that he
over
he had
the on
somebody
the
small
phone
on
where
him.
he was posting up every fucking play, man. Dude, Kawhi got hurt. He went to the he was like, yo, so we're gonna do nah. You fucking boss.
Dude would have Pussy Bogues on him and fade away. Like, if you don't just go up.
Dude literally had Curry on him in the post. Man said, fucking fade away.
And he was missing every shot.
Dude shot them out of the game.
And had the nerve to go stand in the huddle with his hands on his hips, like, y'all gotta step this up. Like,
Come on, Tony Parker. Like,
Tony was like, yeah, I'm gone. I can't do it. All right, now John Wall.
John Wall.
I don't
Pre-injury, he was S.
pre-injury, but it's been like 17 years since we
It's
seen
been
this
2
dude.
years since we've seen John Wall, which I would like lead me to believe. I want to put him in B because the same thing with Oladipo. Except when John Wall was playing, bro, you couldn't argue. John Wall was a top 2 point guard in the league. John Wall played defense. John Wall was getting like he was like
Nah,
facilitating.
you could argue that top two. You could argue that. Cause you
John
still had Dame, you had Kyrie, you had CP3, you had Westbrook,
But
you
he
had
was-
Curry.
It was, bro. Okay. Before he got hurt, Dame wasn't in the conversation. It was
That's fair. That's
Oscar-
fair. Only people who were
Oscar
putting
and
Dame in the
Blazers
conversation
debating-
was Blazer
everyone was
fans.
debating Steph, Kyrie, and
John Wall
the other, John Wall
and
yeah,
Westbrook.
that
It was
pretty
like,
much
yeah,
the debate.
those four.
And
Because
Westbrook.
people were disrespecting CP3 at that time.
And John Wall was fucking. He was willing them to the against the Celtics in that series before, like the last time we've seen John Wall play some meaningful basketball. I don't know, man. I can't get it out of my head whenever John Wall was playing like super well, but we don't know. I'd say he's A because we don't really know. And last time we seen him, he was so good.
But I feel like the issue with that is if we can't put him A, and then for safe reasons put Victor Oladipo at B, because I feel like Vic was A too.
Victor Oladipo, he wasn't on John Wall's level though.
That's fair, but he was playing at an A level.
He was playing at John Wall was playing at an S fringe. I don't want. Okay, maybe blasphemous to say SS, but he was playing at a high level.
Okay, back then, you could get away with saying at an SS or an S, but with how it is now, no.
I think he's A right now.
I could leave him at A. I could sit with that. Now Kyrie, off the court,
Kyrie's S. I think he's disrespected.
off the court, he says some wild shit. It be making sense, but it's like,
And I'm a
Kyrie, shut up.
disrespecter of Kyrie when it comes to off the court. You know how I feel. But Kyrie on the floor does some things with the basketball that we've never seen.
Factual. He is the definition of having the ball on a string.
Exactly.
I'm perfectly fine with putting him on S. Like, that's Kyrie. That's Kyrie.
Yeah. So
Devin Booker.
Devin
He's an
Booker,
A. He's an A.
honestly, he's
I
an
gotta put him A.
He's on like the Donovan Mitchell level.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If you had to rank all the guys in A, I think the best would be Clay.
Yeah, I think it would be Clay.
I think Clay, Brad Beal's fine there. I don't know. You could really. That's up to your interpretation. Whoever you really want after the top two. I think Clay and Brad are the top two, and the rest you can kind of debate for yourself.
And then the weird part is, all right, so we're not gonna do recency bias with Paul George and how he was trash. But the thing is, like, that's not a recency bias with him. Paul George has never been good in the playoffs. Besides, like, when he used to play Miami, and that's when he had Danny Granger on the side. And like,
I still don't wanna.
I don't want to disrespect. I wasn't gonna move him on an A, but I'm just saying, like, honestly, I would take Jimmy Butler over him.
I wouldn't. Paul George is so good. If you could just get Paul George focused, like Paul George just doesn't seem interested a lot of this. Paul George is like, niggas paid me. Like,
I feel like he's just so desperate to be on a good contending team or to go play with his friends that he doesn't always realize you're always taking a back seat to somebody.
when he's good enough. Okay, if you just base this off of skill, we didn't know anything about their personality. Paul George is an SS.
Yeah.
That's the skill he has. Paul George, whenever he caught that fire in OKC 2 years ago, and he was like an MVP contender.
Yeah, but then hold on, but then he literally got sunned by the dude on the Jazz.
I'm not disagreeing. Yeah, dude, fucking Joe
Joe Ingles out there, bruh, man.
Fucking Joe Ingles.
Man.
But like, yeah, like Paul George, like Paul George is a beast. If it was just Paul George in his own like bubble of just Paul George thoughts.
I feel like Paul George, every time he gets into those moments where it matters, I feel like he's either so scared or puts so much pressure on himself that it's just like, it's a wrap.
But Paul George he has a weak mental.
Yeah, he
He
has a
has like
very
people
weak
says
mental.
about him. He doesn't. He's sensitive. And I don't like want to just sit up here and disrespect him
Because
or
there's
say
nothing
like
wrong with being sensitive, but
I like Paul George as a person. Like there's nothing. Paul George is not a bad guy.
he's a
Paul George
funny
is like
dude. Like, yeah, I was gonna say Paul
exactly.
George is perfectly. There's nothing wrong with Paul George. He's a
It's
sensitive dude, and there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. But when it comes to basketball, you gotta tone that out when you're on the court.
exactly. It's like LeBron was like that at one point, and maybe not to this extent that Paul George was, but LeBron even he didn't like the fucking shit that the Celtics were saying about him and like the way that people were talking about him like after the Mavericks series. But he stepped up and
Yeah, I was
he
gonna say, but the
fucking
thing about
transcended.
LeBron is he wasn't like he didn't just ignore it and be like, oh yeah, no, I'm playoff heat. No, LeBron was like, that's something he had to
Exactly.
work on, and he went and got
Exactly.
better at it.
Paul George hears like someone be like, yeah, Paul George is like not doing this correctly. Be like, no, fuck them niggas, I'm doing this correctly.
Exactly.
And
It's like
then about
he
it.
has such an ego while being
And
sensitive, and it's
and
like
then
it's
once it's
weird.
in the moment and it's happening, it's in the back of his head, like, yeah, maybe I'm not this good. Maybe like they're right. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't have that mindset.
Exactly.
Like after the game, when you're watching film, you could be like, "Damn, I should have passed it to you. You were open. My bad. I was just in the zone." I would much rather hear somebody, "Yeah, I was just focused. I thought I could make that," than hear, "Oh, I was too afraid to take it." Like, man, pull the hell up.
It's not no, but it's not even an issue of pulling the hell up. You've seen Paul George fucking shoot the ball off the side of the backboard.
But it's like it's. I was just gonna say it's like when he shoots in those situations, he never looks set. He never looks prepared. He just looks shaky.
It's not about the fact that he won't shoot. It's the fact that he won't stop shooting, but he's thinking every time, oh, I'm missing, I'm asked. Like it's never like it's every time a miss happens, he thinks he's gonna miss again, but he thinks he has to take the shot.
It's like so he basically what you're saying is like, all right, so he hears the doubters. He goes to prove them wrong. He misses, and he's like, maybe they're right, but this is still my chance to prove them wrong. And he keeps missing, and then in his head, he was like, yeah, they're just right about me.
Exactly.
Like he keeps putting himself in a loop of like, no, I have to be better, but they're right.
After people were hard criticizing after like the first 3 games of the Mavericks series, and then he went off in game back to normal. It was like, yeah, I'm good again. It's like, no, bro, you have to continue to
Like
have
you
a
should.
string of
That's
good
not
games.
something you should be announcing. Like, oh yeah, I'm good again. And then as soon as y'all lose, oh yeah, did you know I was injured? Like, no, you weren't. Stop looking for excuses. I said his shoulder with a water bottle, like.
He's literally the definition of oh shit, I was lagging.
He straight cost you. My bad, I was lagging. Can y'all hear me? Man, bro, did you hear? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I think I think he might get traded this offseason. They were already dangling his name trying to get Westbrook. I think they might trade him. I don't think Westbrook works with that Clippers team at all.
Man. I don't like the trade for trading away Paul George.
I feel like that's a downgrade. Westbrook is my boy, but that's 100% a downgrade on that team.
It's a downgrade, and look, you might have Westbrook higher than it. Like might be contradictory to have him higher on the list.
Westbrook is a better overall player. He's just not
exactly.
better for that fit, that team.
Exactly. I don't. Paul George is a good player. Like we've been saying, I don't have to keep restating the fact that we like think Paul George is a good player. Paul George is just you don't know what the fuck you're getting.
Honestly, yeah.
If am I getting fucking regular season Paul George whenever we're like down and we're like, oh shit, Paul George is this guy again? Or are we getting fuck my mental shot Paul George?
And it's like that's the biggest thing.
Or I'm injured Paul George.
That's the biggest thing against Paul George because everybody else on this list, you know what you're gonna get on a nightly basis, whether it's subpar or fire. Paul George is always randomly up or down, and it's just like, are you showing up this game? No, I'm gonna go 0 for 19, and then next game he's like 50 points at half.
Consistency with the fact like he can play. It's not even like he doesn't even have to play at the level when he's on fire. If Paul George just played like how Paul George is playing when you're saying, oh shit, Paul George having a good game, it would be a fucking top 10 player.
Like maybe he's one of those players where if you don't keep Pat in his ego, he's not gonna perform. Maybe the more good you talk about him, he pops off more.
Well, that's not even true because Kawhi barely speaks on teammates. Kawhi's another, yeah, dude, we still trust him. Like Paul George is still good. We know Paul George. Like we know what he's capable of.
I also feel like Kawhi will say that and then immediately go to the back like, you gotta step it over. You're going. Like he'd look him dead in the eyes. Be like, I didn't bring you here to lose.
Okay.
I'm the new
I
king
think
of
that's
LA.
true, but
You're
we
not
don't
helping.
have any proof of that, so it's hard to say.
Fair.
I'm just saying, I don't know, man. Paul George, it's just so fucking hard to gauge, and I wouldn't trade him because you already gave up so much to get him. You might as well stay
They
committed
gave
to
up
the
their
fucking.
entire future.
Exactly. You
But
might as well
hold up.
stay committed to the guy.
But before we keep rambling, let's go ahead and just end this video right here. This is the list. If you disagree, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. I don't control it. This list is flawless. If they had the rest of the players, the list would be moved around, but they ain't got them all. So it is what it is. Appreciate you, though.